as we get into this morning live, which I still expect red here to start, we haven't filled out this pattern setup. I still think XRP, even if it were to hold this area, which I'm not convinced it's going to, we would need to hold that $2.28 mark to avoid that further drop down to that $1.77 to $1.82 area, which when you look at the liquidity maps and the zones, it doesn't make so much sense to come all the way down there, aside from the fact that we still have to potentially fill out that wick drop. You know, that's a potential that stays on the table. The good news about that drop was that wick was in lieu to clear out a lot of things that weren't cleared out on the way up, not just with XRP, but if you go through the crypto charts, even though the alt tokens majority 99.9% did not make the move like XRP did, which we're still in a bull market consolidation, which it's pushed back into bear market territory by definition and by virtue of the fact that we've dropped so far from $3.70. But still, make no mistake, this is on a consolidation out of a 38 cent range that we were stuck in after the bear drop in 23, another bear drop in 24. But I tried to explain this yesterday, and if you weren't here, so let's just say XRP makes that move to $6.30 or $5.49, let's say, whatever the case may be at the end of this for this entire cycle, because that's what it was projected out at when it started. Doesn't mean it has to do it now. Doesn't mean we can't drop another 50%, because I can show you just as many ways as I can't that we could still go back down there and retest it, and it would be a normal fundamental setup as what we're seeing right now. But in every other cycle, I keep saying it, take off 9/10. Take off, we went through this yesterday, take off 9/10 from where we end up. Because everybody always says it can't happen, it won't happen, it'll never happen again. In a traditional crypto market, when we finish off alt season, when it finally happens, because it hasn't, everybody says alt, we haven't had an alt season. There's been no alt season. But what we always look for is, like, if we get up to $5, everybody who doesn't think it can go down to $1, it happens. We always cut off 9/10 in crypto for whatever reason. It just happens. We lose 90% value in the perceived bear market. Now go to a lot of the altcoins, they're down better than 90%, most of them, which means they're still below last bear market levels, which they never got out of. Some of them that were up 4, 5, 6x are already back into that category, but they only went up that much because they were so far down. The only few, even in my own memory, you had a few like AVE, you had like Solana, Chainlink, XRP, Bitcoin, even Ethereum, because it at least came back up to the levels of 21, but it never succeeded to break into the territory. Like, this is common operating procedure. Like, I hope we round here, because we've already filled out to an extent this pattern, and I hope this starts a little cutoff phase. But I still know technically in my head $2.28 is a reasonable expectation, even if it holds this pattern. It's a reasonable expectation of what's been building. Now, does it have to come down there? I would like to see it come down here one more time, if I'm being honest, because we've already come down here in the resistance 3 times. I don't know why that's like that, but it is. Actually, we can keep it like this, so we'll force it both ways. How about that? No, see, that's why it's like that. But if you are watching, make sure to hit the like button as I ramble on this morning, as I go through my thoughts. And then I promise we'll get into a more functional and rational discussion. But these are the things that are going through my head as I watch through this. And this setup right here, if this stays intact, that's technically a bull flag setup there. Actually, nope, I stand corrected. Pennant flag. Nope, still not. Maybe it is a bull flag. But we'll see, because it's also starting to form in this more up to the minute consolidation. If you want to look at it more in the micro, even though we're within the micro with this setup. But if you want to go micro within micro, it's possible, if that is the support structure building, that we're doing something like that. And you just take out this whole low now, And then you say this is the next consolidation to see if we're going to fall back within it even further. And then you can descend down through, what is that, next Monday, October 20th. That's how long it could take. Interesting. What is that? It still gets you into the same area, but we'll see what happens here. I like to break it into the micro so that we can perceive the macro within the micro, but never lose perspective of the macro. Because in the macro, we're working off of something that's been going on for a very long time. And if you are disheartened or disgruntled by this movement, I wouldn't be. We're on an all-time cup and handle right now. So, in layman's terms, and I'll go to the market cap so you can see it after I do this. W, flag, out, because it's a cup and handle. That's like the handle being built. So, you know, it's doing it in that fashion, but you can just say, well, forget that, and we're just building a handle. So, even though it is building a broadening, or it's in a broadening wedge, which we perfectly, thankfully, dissected that before the drop happened, which is what led us to believe that we could drop down to $1.37. Obviously, this chart is not the one, because this one only went to like $1. But the point is the broadening wedge we had for $1.37 is what led us in the right direction. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff to look at, but be very happy that we're built this cup and handle after all these years, because this is how we projected it out years in advance. I've kept this up the whole time. The one that I drew out, not this, not the arrows, but this when I drew by hand. We drew, what if this? And it looks like I just drew it up, but I remember that being there, and I should go back in videos from a long time ago. But I would always be like, I know it looks crazy, but we have the Hank Hill ass syndrome. Flat ass, it needs to pull out, and once it does, we should have this all-time cup. And it was the what if. And on the other charts, it's a little different, because when you go into the price action, the market cap came down here. It's more defined in the pattern with the charts, with the price, but it absolutely finally did that. And now to think that it filled out all of that to not get the final payoff, which is where it needs to go to, which is what gave us that target to begin with. Because I suspected we'd be at $250 billion for the market cap by the time this happened. And again, it looked ridiculous at the time because we were at about 22 million in market cap, or billion. And I'm calling for a $250 billion market cap. So yeah, that's a big thing. I see 2 comments real quick. Anna, I'm so happy to see you in here commenting as well. And it's so ironic, and I'll tell you guys, it's funny, the names. And I love your name, but it's ironic. And I'm glad you found us, and I'm glad that being in the lives, it made you're addicted to the lives now. I love it. It's ironic because my son at school, he's special needs autistic. He's nonverbal. So we were afraid of, like, when he was in the full day of school, you know, in kindergarten now, because he's in the regular class instead of a special needs class, with some help with IEP and such. But he has a friend that she will not leave his side, and her name happens to be Anna, ironically. So when I talk to her, every morning she runs up to us, she hangs out with us for the 10 or 15 minutes until the school bell rings, when Miss Josie comes out, which is who helps him throughout the day. But his friend's name is Anna too, so it's cool. He has a friend Anna, and now I have a friend Anna that we just met. Isn't that kind of ironic? The world works in mysterious ways. And Big Dog, and Tom's over 3+ months with the XRP Meteor, says, Tom, and remember, Big Dog called yesterday. I'm finally able to break down that, and I'll be able to share it on its own. He was having an issue not being able to sell his crypto. And we figured it out yesterday, and he said, Tom, I was able to sell into my account. Thank you so much for informing me last night. Also, thank you, Miss Stott, for trying to assist me. Awesome ass community, love it. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm glad we were able to have the phone call during the live last night, and we were able to help you in the right direction. I figured it would work because I also have withdrawn through crypto.com, and I know exactly what you were going through, because you had to switch it back from the actual crypto into USDT. So I'm so glad. I'm so glad that worked for you. And if you guys are wondering, there'll be a video, a standalone video. And Big Dog, I don't know if you want me to put it, but would it be possible when I put that out to put just, I'll just put Big Dog in it, just so everybody knows the reference. Just so everybody knows the reference. And I'll just put USA on there so everybody knows that it was an issue within the USA that you were dealing with. So that makes me happy. Anna said, lovely story. I'm so glad to be here and your friend. Yes, me too. I'm proud of the fact, actually. I'm proud to have you in here. Miss G, Stott, and Shane, thank you both for being in Tom's over 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Mrs. Stott, you were the key to why we got that moving in the right direction with Big Dog. Dan Marginal, All the World Stage, and also, I already said hi to Miss Stott, but again, hello, Miss Stott. Thank you for being in Tom's Arm for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Crypto Cooter and Joseph Euler, thanks for being in Tom's Arm for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. And Crypto Cooter, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Mark Caston, Papa Wheelie, and Glenn Barlow, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Shane, we still need to have our phone call. I'm remiss. I'm trying to remember what it was about, but I haven't forgot as I have your number in my phone, as you know, as we've chatted. J.H. Pick, welcome in. Let's see. Robert Latham, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Mixed Shoot, I appreciate you being in Tom's Army along with Define Group for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And Define, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Says, hey everyone, hit that like on the way in. Consider subscribing and joining Tom's Army for the best technical analysis on YouTube. If you are not in the Telegram, you are missing out. I concur. Areli, welcome in. Another beautiful this morning. Mr. Stott in here as well, along with Mrs. Stott. I love seeing the families here together thriving. Thank you both for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Robert Latham, good morning to you as well. Says great people also in Tom's Army for his first month. Pierce, good morning. I think I got everybody. Glenn Barlow, did I say hi to you, my friend? If not, hello. He says, hello, Tom. What do you think XP will recover and move forward? When? Nobody knows. Nobody knows the exact date, but I've been targeting since January's top. Believe it or not, I've been talking about this since January. Mid-November, first to second week in November. When you get the pumpkins coming out, you know recovery's in sight. But don't front run it though, because September and October are the most bearish months by definition on record for crypto for a reason. But everybody always gets so excited in September for some reason. Huh? What is? Already? Holy smugolies. I got my my cannabis coming, so I gotta.
It was 174.
It was 174. Give the man $25 or $26 tip, since nobody's gonna be tipping him. Let's see. I like tipping them. I like tipping people good amounts when they do stuff. That is valuable for me. Mo Zahir, Ben B, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Mr. Grump, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty Shadows Crypto News. Whose birthday? Or happy birthday to him. Whose birthday was it? I must have missed the birthday. If it's somebody's birthday, let me know. I'm trying to get to the bottom so that we can get going here. But I want to say hi to everybody because everybody deserves to say hi. Copper, welcome in. Burn, Ben Graham, good morning. Maybe I'm the only one who acknowledges you the whole day. You know, and just know you're important. Rapid Freedom, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 year with the over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. George, I hope you're having a great morning. Good morning to you, my friend. And this is where people will leave in the beginning, and that's fine because then we narrow it down. Shane's at work putting in a hot water tank. Oh, good luck with that, my friend. That is that's an interesting task. But at least you're helping somebody, so it's good. That's good. Syrian and Vadodamas, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's number for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And Syrian, thanks for being a very trusting mod in here and in the Telegram. Let's see. Bearded Viking, good morning. And thanks for being in Tom's number 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Hope all is well with everyone. Thank you for creating a place with solid info. You're welcome, my friend. And our blessings to your young one for the continued recovery and good health. As well, I don't speak business, but continue to push through with God's grace. By God's touch. Amen. Nick Morales, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens along with Mark Korf. And that is my face superimposed on that emoji badge. And Nick, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. The technical advisor in the Telegram. Go check out his own side channel in there. If you're lucky enough to be in the Telegram. Frankie Fresh, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor along with Calvin Wilson. And Frankie Fresh, I hope your hand is just improving ever so slightly. I know no one's getting my notifications here. I'll share it myself. I apologize that YouTube sucks so bad. I got 47,200 subscribers and it notifies about 4,000 maybe. No, that's too much. It notifies about 400 people. Now that might be too much too because it didn't even notify me, Julie, or my other tablet. Even my screen next to me, it didn't notify. Still it hasn't. So that's why I go to all channel members, and then I'll hit live, and I'll usually share it. And then sometimes, which I should do this every time, and yeah, it creates a third different one, and some of you might see all three, but I like to go into channel members, and then Tom's Army or higher, and then it also puts a special one out for them. So we'll see if anybody gets those. But Calvin Wilson, I appreciate you finding your way in here, my friend. I really, really do. Yes, we do, Tom. It was more of a around the world topic. Like, oh, that's right, about the portfolio and new people coming into cryptos. Most will lose it. Yes, it was. And Shane, isn't it ironic what happened now? Since that phone call was supposed to... Things look a little different now, huh? Exactly what we were going to talk about is transpiring, and it's been... Did gold really just shoot up that much more? I don't even know if I want to look at my mining stocks. I got a gut feeling did I really see that with gold and silver shot up again this morning? Because silver was down the last time I looked. I worked out. I try to cleanse my mind. And I did not pay attention to that. But I just seen it go across that gold is up $56 to $4,263. And the silver futures popped up to 53.21. Remember, it was just down at 50, the futures, and we were talking about it. Ooh, that means Silver Corp might be having a day today. I've been waiting for Silver Corp to have this breakout towards $8. That means it could be having a day. I hope Dolly Varden's starting to have a day too. It seems like it hasn't had its day yet, but I know Silver Corp has to. If the futures is up on... Their earnings are just too high. They're probably having a good day today. Hecla Mining might be having a good day today. I think the miners as a whole are probably having a good day. I'm having a... Hey! Guys, you know how I gave a $26 tip and I like to? I swear I do this every time. And every single time, almost every other time, they give us a free ounce.
He said he picked a good one. He said it smelled good.
I bought an ounce of white cherry gelato, and it's for like calmness and all this other good stuff. 28.7% THC. I gave him a $26 tip, which I always give I always give a big tip when I do customer service. I might get a $50 delivery. I pay $7. I'll give a $7 tip because gas is expensive and it costs a lot when you're a DoorDash or Uber. Nobody considers the wear and tear we're putting on these people's car for the delivery. But they give me 2 ounces. They always do that. I don't know why. And this is their top shelf stuff. I don't buy their shit stuff. I buy the $200 an ounce stuff at minimum, which is expensive where I live because of how much you can get it for $79 and $99. I always buy the better stuff, on the top. But that's pretty cool. See, you look out for people and they look out for you, and they give us a pre-roll, which we never smoke because I don't like pre-rolls. That's probably the shit they put together and give you for free. That's all with the most poison. But, you know, an emergency situation, I'll give it to my mom or somebody. Or we'll smoke it if we have to. But anyhow, so look at that, where we're cooking this morning. But like I said, with the gold and silver, what the hell, I'll look at them. Nope, I'm not going to look at the miners till I finish saying hi to everybody.
Good.
Poop Soup, welcome in.
Every time.
I know, tickles you, huh? Aaron Reynolds, welcome, and thanks for being in Times over 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Cannabis Podcast, also 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And also at 486 subscribers as of yesterday, I seen, only 14 away from 500. He's put out about 4 pieces of content, I believe it's been in the last so many days, which is spectacular to see. I love seeing him thriving. Check out his channel at the Cannabis Podcast. If you want to, Cannabis Podcast, do me a favor and put your link in there, please. I encourage you to put your link down in the comments so everybody can find it easier. Put your YouTube link, just so they can see it if you wouldn't mind. Trying to get him to 500, so if you're part of the community, I'm not trying to, he's trying to, but it'd be nice to see him get there during the show. But yeah. Tango, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Run for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Alt season has been on the way for a while. And we've been waiting for these flushes to actually verify that we're getting there, but we're getting there. Mid-November, I've been talking about. Early to mid-November. And Define says, the sun is shining and watching my daughter play her soccer tournament all day while listening on Texas Be Future Million in my ear. Beautiful time to be alive. What a day to be alive. Good luck to your daughter in this tournament. I know you've had some recent success there with some championships. Not jinxing anything, but good luck in the tournament. Copper Vine, good morning. The Telegram, unfortunately, is for members of Tom's Army. I used to give it out without the members, but it created a lot of people trying to scam my audience. Not saying you would, and there's still a lot of people that try to. But there has been a lot of gifted subs given out, so maybe you'll get one. Or join Tom's Army and pay it forward, and you get the Telegram. It's on my YouTube members-only post, which I always share when we get a new member. So yeah, that's for the safety of the members in there, which there's still a lot of things we have to go through, but we have channels and stuff to where you know what's going on if somebody's trying to spam you, and we rectify it very quickly because I won't ever message you unless you message me first. We're almost up to 500 members ourselves in the Telegram. It's at 493, so with each new member comes a bigger opportunity of being scammed. All right, YouTube did give you the notification, so it worked when I did it. That's good to know. At least for you it did. I like to see that. D. Rojas, King Day Day, Silver Days, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first months with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. B. South, good morning. Silver's at 50, 380, 54. Oh boy, I don't know if I want to look at the miners. I'm going to wait until I get through this. Joseph Goudreau, welcome in, and thanks for the $10 donation. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you remember, but I took out 20,000 XRP for 60 grand at $3 to fully pay for a house at. Yes, I do. And I told you to do it because we had to have come down to that gap at $1.50. I endorsed it. Remember? I know you remember, but I endorsed that because I said we had to come and fill that gap at $1.50, and until it did, you're golden. That was a beautiful sale. And look at that. Look at that. Because he wanted to. Because he wanted to fully pay for the house. I remember this. Brilliant. And you're 23 years old. Closes on his house and he's going to fully pay for it. Because he was smart. And right now XRP is down 57 cents per token. You do that over 20,000 shares. And that's right now. We're not. And yeah, it can re-go. It can come back up. But the point is he's already done this. He's closed on his house. Ironically, that's going to be a good time, hopefully, in crypto, too. So you might be having a good time both ways. Because now with big dips come opportunity for you again. How we're having. So let's see. Oh, man, you make me so happy. 20,000 times. Because you did it right. That's $11,400 would be gone anyhow right now. Whew. That 60,000 would be worth 49 right now anyhow. That is unbelievable. I give you kudos, my friend. And I thank you for paying it forward with the $10 donation, Mr. Goudreau. I appreciate it. That's a winning story right there. And I love that there's 11 likes. That's a real success there. Turned his XRP from X amount into X amount. It was worth 60 at the time. I remember this so vividly. So vividly. Oh, it's awesome. I'm glad to see the back end of this story. We have so many success stories here. It's insane. Paying off his house fully at 23. And I thought I did a good job paying mine off at 38. Jesus, is our audience awesome. Or 39. Why give myself credit? But anyhow, that's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That's winning. That's what crypto can do for you, but you got to be smart. And now look at the opportunity he had. He's also a worker, you can tell. He's probably got a little bit, even if it was a few $1,000, $1,000, but he's putting it towards his house too through that. Probably got something that he may have bought back in, maybe not, but he's watching the market as it shakes through to try to push to the next leg. You did it perfectly. $3 is a lot of money for XRP that you sold it for compared to where I know you bought it from. So you did unbelievable. I love that so much. It just epitomizes everything that we try to talk about in here. But I digress. I continue. Silver Days XRP, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Oh, I love all the emotes that you shared there. The King, XRP Future Millionaires, King and dabbing. I'm going to have to learn to do the gritty. Oh, good morning, Tom. Mark Koff, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Said, good morning, Tom. Do you think we will be back, test the big drop before alt season? I have dry powder sitting. Where would you buy in on H-bar and algo? Converted it to, I trust now, deposited the spend. We very well could melt down. I don't think it's a guarantee like everybody thinks because there's not enough liquidity down there right now. So I think the unsuspecting move would be to come tap that upper bound liquidity. And for XRP, that might mean tap 330 before a further move down. Or get back into those zones so we can build that lower liquidity for a meltdown. Or it could simply just mean, listen, I mean, as hard as it is to believe, and apparently nobody else can see this across the board in social media, but is it too hard to believe that maybe, just maybe, that's the lower boundaries to test after this bull season? Like maybe XRP on Binance, or maybe XRP on some of these other ones put down the boundary for the next, maybe it doesn't go down 90, maybe it goes down 70% from the top. But maybe these wicks it put out now, it just gave us a guideline to where we go down if we do go into an alt season. And it might be a good rumming stone to know we never came back down. And I would love to keep that gap out there. Because then when we go all the way up, we know where we have to come down to and make it for an easier sale on the top. Which I always have an easy time selling when it gets up there. You're telling me if I make 10x, I should be mad? No. Oh, no. Quite the opposite. For ones I know I can't let go, I just buy twice as much, like with XRP, because then I can let go half of it, because it wasn't even supposed to be there to begin with, like we did at +3, 30, 40. You guys get the picture. But no, I'll never feel bad about selling. Oh, no. Did I feel bad about selling? I owed at 40 or 38 cents after buying it at 9. Yeah, it hurt, but I didn't care. Then when I bought it back, did I care about selling it at 17 something, 7 hours before the drop? Just to buy it back at 8.5. Oh yeah, my wallet. I feel so bad about now holding it at 8.6 instead of 17 because I had to sell it. No, I don't care. You know, you have to have some kind of testicular fortitude. We call that confidence. But I that's a tough question that you presented, though. Why is there IOTA down there now? I was going to say, what the hell is going on here? Send it all the way down there. I'm not looking up there yet. But I really do feel like Silvercorp has to have a good day today if we're getting that move. Because it was stuck back testing the 698 to 718. But now the next logical move would test that 794 area, which is right about $8 on a big surge. Maybe it'll go right over it. I don't know. Even Dolly Varden should be coming up 6 to 8% at some point here, maybe even 10. But they're due for a big day. Those two in particular. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard, my friend Mark, because we very well could melt down first. So I mean, you have to wait and see a baseline here. I don't have a baseline yet. I wish I did, but I don't. We have a projected baseline, but we have to see if it stays within the, for XRP example, for a baseline. We have a projected baseline, but it needs to stay within. Is it in this layer? Is it going to come down here? Is it going to break down? Is it going to melt down? Is it going to retest? Is it going to back test? It's the same thing with, we have another one, baseline we did for Linea. Is it going to stay in? Is it going to back test? Is it going to roll through? Is this just like XRP? Like, is it already creating itself? Like, is it creating a baseline for us? We can't possibly know that unless it breaks out or breaks down. If it creates a baseline here, then we know it's coming for the back test of 2.5-ish, and that's a good buy. It's a buy signal. The moment this breaks out of here, it's a buy signal. For the simple move, even if it gets rejected, it's a buy signal until it breaks that pattern back down. Maybe it has a fake out to the top. But once it breaks this, let's say it breaks here, the projected move would then be a 28% rally back up to back test the drop point. If it doesn't, the projected move is not all the way down here. Remember, it did melt down, but all that did was that melted down to back test the initial drop. I mean, we have to remember this. For Linea, it back tested and cleared that entire thing. That's remarkable. So until this proves it's not a bull flag, I'm not convinced. Or a pennant flag or whatever you want to call this right now, because we don't have the evidence. But that sure as hell doesn't look like a bear flag to me. That looks like a magnificent pull-up. As of now. Now, you know, we can change our interpretation because we may have to if it breaks down. So we're looking for a confirmation here. So it very well might be a great play. What the hell is going on here? And I can't see anything. Oh, man. And like that, a lot of people didn't look at it on the drop because they think it's a pile of shit. But coming up, even from where I bought it at 2.9 up to here, is a big move back up. I didn't buy it at the 2 area. But why is it showing it like this? It's not even popping up. But anyhow, it's because it wants me to go, and I'm not looking at the commodities yet. Because I know crypto's struggling, so I can have my... Fine, I'll look up there. I'll just look up there and see what happened. Gold's up $52 right now. The dollar's down 0.25%. The 98.44, no surprise here. LAS down 5 1/4, no surprise here either. I think it's gonna have a remarkable downturn now after that resistance. Hopefully, if we want more continuation, now we need to back test. I would like to see a hard retest on this breakout, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Now we need to either get a hard retest or establish this uptrend through the breakout. So the uptrend, and then I'll get into commodities. Sorry, I just wanted to tap this real quick. We've been talking about this one for a long time. Since that back test retracement, big opportunity. So it's either starting this uptrend and it's going to reaffirm it. So $4.90, 475-ish to 490 range, maybe. Or it has to come all the way through and tap this again. Severely overbought. So it's definitely going to come down. It's just a matter of how far. So, and you've seen these have this common wick. This one was its biggest example. When it came all the way from 36 and popped up to $11 just to come all the way back down in a couple months to $2. So this is not unheard of. It goes to 863, then comes and taps, 283 maybe. Who the fuck knows? Or 297 where we tapped. That is not unheard of. So just pay attention to see if it finally gets that aggressive breakout or it ends up falling victim to, just the end of the year nonsense. Gold silver ratio is up 1/4. What? It's up 1/4% to 79.42. Gold's up 54.93 an ounce to 4,263 or 1.3%. Barrett Mining is up 4.5% up to 36.26. Love it. B2 Gold continues to progress here. Ooh, Fortuna's only up 1/4%. Maybe, First Majestic's up 4.5. I was going to say maybe Silvercorp isn't having a day. B2 gold up 2.47% to $5.81, staring $6 down the barrel now. Silver up 1.25% on the day, up to $53.74 an ounce. Unbelievable. We've got Pan America Silver up 2.63% to $42 an ounce or a share now. Holy shit. $42.07 a share. These numbers are getting mind-boggling. First Majestic adds another 70 cents per share, or 4.71%. Now sits at $15.57 a share. What a steal that was, and what a call at $4.52 when they had that merger, when it failed 50% from almost over $8 almost. And Fortuna Silver Mines, I remember when that was at $4.25, and then at $5.25 and First Majestic was at $5.45, was our last chance to buy both of those. And now look at the differential. They were 20-cent differential. And First Majestic's almost... It's up to $15.57. Wow, my mind's not even circulating properly. Fortuna Silver Mines down 0.1% at $9.63. Still magnificent. It's getting ready to push that $10 range. Hecla Mining up another 4.94%, up to $14.86. That's the single largest silver producer in the USA. Staring $15 now. Wow. Silver Court Mining having a day now, up 7%. I was waiting for this. To $7.69. It's severely still. It's undervalued, even though it's becoming more oversold. We're going to be able to start pushing into this higher boundary now. Because now we can look at the proper channel. This is great. And the only reason we needed the first area was to get us to that 1133. Now we can actually start pushing towards level. This is great. We're progressing now. This is fucking great. And like I said in the beginning, I didn't want to show the true target until we started pushing up. Because, hey, guys, buy it at 375. And this is our projected target. Everybody's like, you're fucking out of your mind. But our projected target out of here, it's still the same as what it was before. I'm just going to show it now. I mean, you're talking about getting up here at $17. We're buying it at $3.75 and $4.25. Mrs. Stott, remember when you asked me what's the best deal right now in the miners based on where they were at? And I said, you got to have a hard look at Silver Corp. And I think you were sub $5 still when you asked that question. Well, I mean, how does it sound if it actually goes up and it finishes this, which I believe it will in time. I think that's where we're going, and then further. That's $17. We were just so early on the miners, everybody, in January. We were right when it was about to all start. And we were so early, we began to fill it out, and we were still early and needed to spend more capital, so I divulged. And Diwali Barnes, my most skeptical. And instead of going in the junior miners, I just went down the list of what I knew and the bigger ones, even the one that wasn't making money at the time. And now it's about to turn a profit. And when it does, well, it's actually got cash on hand now. But when it shows up in earnings and everything, what you see come next is going to knock your head off. Marco, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. I really appreciate that. Love it. Thank you so much. Lori says, hi, everyone. I'm late. Stupid watch ain't working this morning. That's okay. That's okay. Better late than never, but you're here with plenty of time. Plenty of time. Scotty Trades, good morning, along with Coppervein and B Southtown. Excellent. I support with likes, can't afford to join. That's okay. That's okay. The more I see you in here, and I've seen you in here a lot, and you know my email address, send me an email. Send me an email, my friend. Send me an email. Let's see. Marco, Tremblay, and Mick Shoot, thanks for both sending a donation to me and Tom's Arm for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Marco Tremblay, thank you for the $3.99 donation and the little emote you shared. And Mick Shoot, thanks for the $2.79 donation on top of already being in Tom's Army for both of you. Said, Tom, what are your thoughts on Gala nowadays? Gala's a tough one. I like Gala, but it doesn't have a lot of room in my arsenal right now because of my views on Epic and things that changed along the way. But it's not out of the question. It finally came down to the lower boundary that I told a lot of people about a long time ago. And if you just expand this out, it finally filled this out. we waited for this lower boundary. If you remember my talks on Gala from a long time, and it never broke out yet, it back tested, but we waited, and I told everybody to buy it when it came and retested that downward area. Now, I don't know. Gala game should be something. I did not know it went to 003 because I wasn't watching it, but I definitely would have bought some there. That's a missed opportunity. Huge missed opportunity. That was a remarkable pullback. That's probably one of the bigger ones in relation to what I've seen. That's a 500% pullback to the top. Oh, a couple hundred, whatever. I still like it long term. I still think it's going to have a big reversal. It's just a matter of where to buy it, and it actually touched those lower boundaries. So I don't hate it. Honestly, I don't hate it at all. But it doesn't have room in my brain right now. My brain has to work elsewhere. Talked about Proton yesterday when it was on that drop, how it was a good buy, or it could be a good buy. We don't know if it falls out. There's still a very real chance this can fall out. Like what you're seeing in commodities and gold and silver is completely different from crypto. Crypto's risk on. We're in a risk off right now. But there's signs that quantitative tightening is about to taper away completely. In fact, they're going to turn the faucet on for quantitative easing in a way we haven't seen since the pandemic, basically. And you remember what happened then. That is how we go up with injection of capital, by the way. And timely rate cuts that devalue the dollar and force these prices up by virtue. Hans, thanks for being in town during 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And also sent one XRP Future Millionaire gifted membership. Wow, what a generous son of a gun you are, Nick. Welcome back into Tom's Armor for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. I greatly appreciate that. And congratulations, Nick, on the gifted sub. And thank you so much, Hans, for paying it forward and donating a gifted sub. That's awesome. That is so cool. Anyone using I Trust Capital Premium Custody account? No. I'm not. I don't know. That's out of my pay league. I have never used it. Unfortunately, Shane, I can't help you with that. Some of our groceries, they both got here at the same time. That's about right. Did they have your heavy duty things? Awesome. So while we still have some time here together this morning, it's already been 42 minutes. Holy smokes. The biggest thing I want you to watch for with XRP in this micro movement. And yeah, we know that wider portion, we know the wider movement, but you need to know the micro. And
it's a big boy.
That is a big one. So we want to see if it, let me put these price targets, because we need to see if it holds this. And everybody asked me, do you think it's going to melt back down? It all depends what this consolidation does here. Because I could argue both ways. Yes, it needs to, but my argument to myself even is, yes, you know it needs to, but what if it's already shown us the target for the next bear market on that drop? It's an interesting proposition to think about. Obviously, if we go all the way back down there, it would ruin that thinking. But I still think 228 is in play, even if we don't come all the way down. And then you got areas 235, if it's got this short term, which I'm not sure how much that validity that even has. That's just showing you into the micro. But, so those would be your next projected levels. So underneath 235, if that breaks 228, if that breaks, then you're firmly looking at about that $1.77 to $1.82 in my opinion. And then if it breaks that, then you know. No. Everybody thinks we've topped. I want to see that. Keep feeding the flame. Keep feeding the flame. Oh yes, we've topped. Oh yes. Let's keep massaging the top. I love it. The more everybody says we've topped, I get more confidence. You smell that? That's the topping confidence from everybody who said we didn't top in January when I said that was the end of the part of the rally before the huge consolidation. But yeah, now it's easy to say we topped, right? But was it easy to say it then? 9 months ago? Probably winning the gold and I know you're joking. That's why I'm joking with you, Joe. 9 No, I know. I can't fix my title. The problem with it is it puts it like that. And when it changed the words on me, I can't change it until after the live. Otherwise, it won't start the live. So now it says XRP Ethereum, or XRP Ethereum alts. We have not tooped. Influence and social media are wrong. Priere now for alt season. And I know you know what it means. What it should say. But it does that often. It makes you do it sideways, and so it's horizontal, but it makes me look at it in vertical even though it's horizontal. So try to typing with a vertical horizontal script. It's so weird. Oh, I get what you're saying. I get it. I know you were joking. I was saying it in a joking voice, but you know, sometimes I might come off like a dick, even if it sounds joking. Let's see. Oh, yes, you, Mr. Stott and Mrs. Stott, you are definitely winning, along with everybody else who's paying attention to what's going on here. You are the Joker, after all. His name is Joker G. Blaze. It's very true. It's very true. If you know, you know. That's true. Joker says there's a very strong possibility that because of the government shutdown, we're going to miss out on our Q4 bull run for the year. We have had a great increase regardless of the current price. We have so many good catalysts that are being suppressed, and I believe those suppression. Oh, no. The government shutdown would play in. Again, the government shutdown. That's good. That's a good thing. The market's coming down is a good thing. This is further going to get rate cuts for risk assets and continued increase of gold and silver and the devaluation of the dollar and emerging market rise. You know, everything that I bet on. This is good for us. No. I think it's the actual opposite. The government staying shut down is a good thing for us. One, it makes everything stupefied. They pass larger and larger quantitative tightening packages for easing, and they completely turn it off, the tightening now. It'll completely be turned off. And then the easing comes in at a level we haven't seen since the pandemic. They likely start a new blah, blah, blah. And freights go off the rails again. And then before everybody realizes what's going on, when everybody starts to get back in it because it goes back into greed and extreme greed, guess what happens? They drop the hammer again and crash the market down 9/10 like they always do when retail comes in. So we've got time. Sure, it's ugly right now, but isn't this what I've been talking about since January? And yeah, if this breaks down, we're going to 10.5 cents or 10.2 to fill the gap from the lawsuit announcement of 2020. Oh, believe it, it can happen. Believe it. It can happen. And it will if it doesn't play out properly. Because if this has, in fact, topped, that would be a problem. Because then we're going into the crypto winter of all crypto winners. And we may never come out of it. That's what people don't understand. You can get 5 and 10x gains, but it might be from 10 to 50 cents or even worse. You know, if you don't come out of this now, you may never come out of it because regulations in 28 are going to kill us. They're going to crush us at the end of 28. Once Trump's term's over and all these go into effect, because Trump don't want it to happen during his term, but he knows exactly what's going to happen. He's hinting at it to us all the time. Yeah, it's the truth. If XRP is going to be used by a bunch of big banks and Bitcoin is over 100K, then XRP has to get to 10. No. Heck, no. Bitcoin has 20-something million tokens. XRP has 100 billion. Not a chance. Now, can the market cap get bigger than Bitcoin? Now that's a different discussion. That's a different discussion. The price. And it's not going to all banks, central banks. That's the distinction. XRP is not meant to fund just a normal bank for us. It's for the central banks to have enough liquidity to push through and make it look like they're solvent. That's been my conspiracy the whole time. It's going to be the global run for central banks so that it makes it look like they have enough capital on hand. So by virtue, they'll just change the pricing of XRP to meet their capital demands. That's what I think. But they certainly, if it was meant to be $10,000, there'd be not 100 billion tokens. It's actually a far more superior plot going on. Yeah, it's XPR as we found out. We talked about it. It's for the credit unions, ironically. So our story is actually starting to come into play. What we thought. The banking part is essentially true if you're talking about the central banks, the elitist banks, like the JP Morgans and the ones controlled by the central banks. But the other ones, especially in the USA, we found out for credit unions, XPR, believe it or not, which is something we've talked about for years and said that it is not a knockoff of XRP. It really isn't. Just because it's XPR, it's Proton. It used to be Proton. It makes sense, XPR, Proton. It's also a play on XPR. But we've been yelling it for a long time. Lonzo especially has been yelling this from the fucking rooftops. Rich as well. Rich has been talking about the credit union stuff. A lot of people knowledgeable about it. Ask Google AI. What am I asking Google AI? What exactly would I be asking it? I'm not. Joker, what am I asking it? I don't know. Have I ever changed my tune about alt season? No. I believe we are going to have an alt season. Yes. I've been saying it since January when I sold 75% of my crypto. Alt season is mid-November. First to second week in November is when it traditionally starts. That doesn't mean you get the whole caboose. It just means that's when you should get signs of the restoration. But Tom, once they start using XRP, we're going to burn so many they will be worth it. Oh, I know you're just joking with me, Crypto Cooter, because that would have lit a fire. If they were to burn XRP like people want, it wouldn't even be worth me holding. That would defeat the purpose. Now they won't even have enough tokens to fund the central banks like they want, in the way that they're designed to. And there's a real ploy here that's very nice. Oh man, oh, you smell the fear? We're gonna have an alt season. Why no alt season? Why did I can't help it.
We don't have all day, but let's debate. Where would you go if valuations are high for some of the big names?
I can't help it. Big corporate business, we'll call them. I can't help it that big corporate business, BCB, big corporate business, wink, wink, big corporate business is called the top and so many believe it. Big corporate business also has alliances and sponsorships with big corporate business. So they feed you the company line, like in 21, 22, 23, when 90% lost out because of big corporate business. So stay away from big corporate business if you want to actually make money in crypto. If you want to lose 90%, trust big corporate business, the BCBs of the world, if you catch my drift. But I'm not going to sabotage any channel, but that's the truth. I've watched big corporate business get a lot of people liquefied in 21 when they were convinced we were going above $10, while this community said we were going to sub 50, sub 40. No, see, I call the real tops. You haven't had the evidence to prove that this is a top yet. It hasn't happened. One, because you haven't even had a season yet. So how can you even call a top? As of right now, you couldn't even call it top unless you want to call it for crypto, for Bitcoin, or for XRP. But for the altcoins, you can't even call top because there was never a top. We never even come up to even. We're still in the consolidation. So big corporate business is calling tops when there's no liability for top being called in the market because there's never been a top formed. We never came out of the bottom. How can you get to the top when you're still at the bottom? Aside for like XRP and Bitcoin and the couple I've mentioned. But literally ask yourself, how can we get to the bottom if we've never gone? How the fuck are we at a top if we're still at the bottom? Does this look like we're at a top? If we're at a top for IOTA, we are screwed. We never even came out on the bottom. My brain's having a hard time. We're still in the same consolidation as from 2023, 22. We're lower than we were in 22 in December, but we topped. Topped? Maybe we just haven't had the official bottom, but we sure as hell haven't topped. We're still below where we were in 22 in December. How could we have topped? Topped? If this is topping, I'm having a lot of fun here, consolidating and accumulating. Jesus. I know what the problem is. I get it. Everybody thought this was actually a bull market when it went to 63. I see what's happening. Nobody wanted to buy it with us at 9 cents. Nobody wanted to sell it plus 50 with us. Nobody wanted to stay on the sidelines. Nobody. Everybody says it topped. I hate to break it to you, but IOTA topped at 250. 250. Then it topped again at $2. Then it topped again at 64 cents. Yeah. Oh, it topped, huh? Tom, we topped. We did. We haven't even started. No, what you mean to say is we're still in the accumulation phase. Those who misunderstand the accumulation phase will get burned, tortured, removed. Liquefied like you've seen 1.8 million traders sitting on the sidelines like you've seen all these supposed 10-star general, top of the world, best in the economy and economics, and the ones who can read the charts better than all, sitting on the sidelines for this historic rally back up, which it's already had from the bottom in that quick of a moment. Like, come on now. The more these douchebag, big chain backers, and what are they called? Big business cocksuckers. I'm sorry. What are they again? Big corporate business. Tell me that it's going to go down. They were the same reason I was selling when they said I couldn't do anything but going up. So, please, tell me why it's going to go down even more to new bear market lows when we have never come out of the bear market. Isn't that crazy, Julie? We've topped, but we never came out of bear market consolidation. How could you top if we're still at the bottom on all coins? Maybe it just is the never was and the never has been. Maybe XRP is a has been like we thought all along, and all the rest are never has and never were and never was and never will be. But I can't believe that because IOTA's my baby. And if IOTA was a never was, then I'm a has been and never has was and was where will we. So fear is now at 28, approaching extreme fear. Last time we seen these levels, oh, I'm salivating. The last time we seen these levels, oh, we didn't even see these levels in September. The last time we seen these levels, that looks like an inverse head and shoulders in the fear and greed index. Head formation down here. But the last time we seen 28, didn't even see it in April. The last time we seen 28 was back early April. Early April. What happened in early April? After it did what it needed to do, we shot up because everybody doesn't buy the fear and everybody buys the greed, which causes topside liquidity. Historically, we've come down. So we've got room. I mean, we've come down much farther than this. We've been down into the teens. We've been down to 6. And remember what happens in some of these cases. Some FUD news comes out or they intentionally drop the market. So, I mean, I'm not bearish. Yeah, maybe the micro, but I am not bearish for alt season. You might have, Aaron. It happens. It happens. Sometimes the Asian accent comes out. If you ever remember my first TikTok video, I did something on there because people were coming and watching. Or no, after a few of my videos, somehow I got like 50,000 views on some of the videos, but not a lot of people were subscribing. And I did the, oh no, you back again. And if you listen to that video, it's one of the very beginning ones. And for some reason it used it as like some kind of video clip or something. So now when you go there, you just hear that. Let's see. Man, things are moving good this morning. Things are moving good this morning. But no, I know somebody asked, where was this at? Who asked me this? Sorry. Is IOTA American? Actually, quite the contrary. Yes, they operate for US and they make decisions in the USA for crypto and things related, but they're actually a German company. German engineered. But they're all over the place. But technically their headquarters is in Germany for IOTA. Oh yeah. Yep. I'll just keep telling them we topped, yep. Just keep telling them we topped. I like what the fine said. For Epic, I know it's up at 98 and still had a great pull up, but I'm still waiting for. I thought maybe 86 cents could be in play. Maybe it was a tiny bit. Yeah, I think 86 was fair. Maybe it was a little bit higher. It is. Not much though. That's why I said I think it's still gonna melt down to this. Well, maybe at minimum it comes to like 87-ish, 88. Well, it is pretty fucking close where it came down. It came to 93. Got this death cross here in the daily that you would think we'd retest somewhere up there. I still think if we're going to have a much further drop down, we should retest the drop point. So there's still some stuff. But yeah, it's definitely having its moment for sure. Retapped out a lot of liquidity. Came down to the zone even further. But yeah, they've all, XRB Healthcare finally tapped back. The gap that was left after substantial move in its own bull season. So it gapped down into the old consolidation, which is fucking phenomenal to see. So, but we've talked about this for a long time. It could even gap way back down. We might even get about, who knows. But, man, gold's up $62 an ounce. We're more fucked than we even think. Do you guys realize that gold isn't going up? Silver isn't going up. The dollar's being devalued, and your native dollars, your shit currency that's a unit of debt, it says right on the stupid dollar. So basically we go to work all day and they give us a paycheck and we cash it in for dollars. Well, they gave you an IOU. That IOU for the dollar was supposed to be turned in for real money, which was gold. That doesn't happen because we're not on a gold standard anymore, but it's still not real money till you actually turn in the unit of debt. That's why you can go somewhere and they say, we don't accept that dollar. You have to pay with a card now because it's nothing but a credit on a screen. God, Dolly Varden continues, in my opinion, to be a steal. They've got a float of 3.6 million tokens or common shares that are promised at $6.50. 13 or 14% of their total common shares are guaranteed at $6.50, some at $9, by corporations that are buying them up right now, other entities for deals, there's just a lot of expansion going on behind the scenes, and it's making their books not look as good, and they're creating more capital with these moves. So anything under 650 is a steal for Dolly Varden. I'm going to continue to say that. We said it at 442 a couple days ago. I know it's at 486, so it's like 40 cents higher. It's a freaking steal still. If it comes down 50%, it's even more of a steal because you know the shares are guaranteed at 650. And that's 13% of their common share float. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's Dolly Varden, DVS. This one. Similar thing that happened with Silvercorp Mining when they announced that they were buying back a significant amount of their shares, of common shares. They did it themselves, though. They weren't offering it. Well, they ended up giving them away, obviously. But they bought them up initially. And that was at $4.75, $4.50. And I kept ringing the bell like, hey, they're saying this is way too fucking cheap. I think this is going to 17 at some point, Silvercorp. Now it's up to 766. Still sounds crazy. But I was saying it about Hecla when it was at $4, and now it's at 15. I was saying it about First Majestic when it was at $4. Now it's at $15.50. I was saying Barrett when it was at 14 that it was going to 40, and it's at 36. And I said it was probably going to 80 or more, but 40 is that first big realistic area. Now I can't even believe. I can, but it's still hard to believe. Pan America was sitting at 18, 22. Now it's at 42. I believe we're going to see the same thing. We're going to be like, oh my God, we were talking about Silver Corp at $4. And now it's going to be at, when it's at 7. We're going to be talking about all of these. They're so undervalued, even though they're overbought now. It's crazy. It's just crazy when you see some of this. And it's like every time you feel like there's going to be a pullback, the government does something else stupider than stupid. That's why when I see the gold, like, isn't it fucking with anybody that you could have an Ethereum price at $4,000 and gold's higher? Like, gold is legitimately taking Ethereum to the fucking woodshed. Everybody who said you were crazy to buy gold when Ethereum and gold were the same price at 1,500, gold literally took it to the woodshed. It's insane. Mr. Stott said, food for thought. We've never had AI manipulating people's feeds and behaving more than now. This is probably most definitely being deployed, and I'm not sure if people realize it, let alone price it in. Absolutely. I agree with you. Look how many people don't even know how much stuff is actually AI when they see videos, and they're getting thousands and thousands of millions of views, and people are commenting, fighting back and forth. And to me, it's so easy to tell AI that you can just tell. It's not, there's nothing, but it's causing a lot of problems. A lot of problems. Still think, man, I still think when it comes to miners, you're going to get a lot of people that buy this awesome price action, and then when it gets its first 10 or 20% pullback, which won't even look like a lot if you've been in it with us for this length of time, but for somebody who just bought it, they're going to say, oh my fucking God, it went down 8%. But what's happening right now are those order blocks are being bought right back up. So even when they have significant downturns, like we had a 7% downturn on a couple of these, or a lot of these the other day, and it's got bought right back up 2 days later in pre-market and into the market. There's so many buy orders. Oh yeah, Calvin, very much so. I just don't talk about the firearms. I am not without arms in my house. Let's just say that I have an arsenal to go between if I have to. From weaponry you speak of, or to like karambits and special knives. I have a strategic set of defense. I'm a very nervous person by nature, so I very much have my defense in order with lots of. If I need ammunition, let's just face it. Yeah, that's why I don't talk about it, Calvin. Just because you start talking about that stuff. But yeah, I definitely can defend myself with the best of them. Let's just put it that. Well, not with the best of them, not like a real soldier. But as far as a civilian, but yeah, I learned a lot when I was a kid. My grandpa was in the Italian militia, so I got to learn a lot of stuff about things when he was alive. Too bad he died in 2001. But then I lived in Dryden when my parents got divorced with my mom. I went back and forth, but one of my houses was in Dryden, so there was no restriction. We could do whatever we wanted out there. And I was at like 10 years old or 12 years old. But anyhow, I gotta get going, guys. Julie's waiting for me. It's been over an hour. We'll continue this discussion tonight when we do the live, sometime around 5:30 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After dinner, closer to 6, because Scarlett and Michaela will be here.
In theory.
So I think because Michaela's off at Western this week, she's in the honors program there, but she's on campus for her first year. But she's going to be home today, so that's nice. And I think she's spending the night tonight, which would be fantastic. We'll have a full house tonight, the humble abode. So be blessed, everybody. And we'll continue this discussion, I promise. 124 people, and I'm blessed to have all of you in here. Thank you all so much. But watch this again a lot.